Wondering if all the casters about to lose their guesses here, but I mean, we're gonna see how well Night Horde puts together. I want to say this is a much more safer composition from Bloodthirsty Kings, especially MLBB. I want to say just a little bit of a lack of being able to kind of catch him out there. He's not going to be as scared to kind of do his same rotations here.
Ooh, first blood. Nicolette able to pull it off, and that is the damage. That is the aggression that we like to see from Nicolette sometimes in the early game. And don't get me wrong, the Pharaohs is clean, but I think this is the change of pace they needed.
The Pharaohs is clean, but we're talking about Nicolette's Lu Yi. Like I was talking about before, that's pretty much the character that made me become a fan of her in the mid lane, and just the amount of damage that a Lu Yi is actually able to output in the early moments of the game.
I mean, and you pair it up with that Minotaur who can kind of make those small sets, you know, not the Minoan's Fury in the beginning, but still able to kind of slow people down to guarantee that you proc that duality and get the pull in. It's definitely huge.
Yeah, it was just a point. I like that point because it's not a huge set. It's just enough of a pop-up that gives her an opportunity to land that yin-yang onto the enemy to really do that huge amount of damage, especially here in the early game.
Now, taking a look at the EXP lane, I feel like there'll be a slightly quicker lane clear. Lane clear on Emilo. Sorry, I'm tripping over my tongue right now. Lane clear for Milo, able to probably move around the map a bit more. But I think when we get into some of these big fights, Sleepy may be a bit more detrimental at level 4. May be able to help out a bit more level 4, but as the game moves on into the mid and late, that's where we're going to start to see Milo really kind of pop off.
And you already saw that pressure down at the bottom. Ooh, Nicolette actually gets hit. It does have a diversion out.
Decides not to use it though. MLBB taking his time. Sleepy also looking for an angle. Does have the bravest fighter. Oh my foe. Cutting around the back. Sleepy gonna lock onto Nicolette. Doing a lot of damage. Able to get the kill. Momoy actually picks it up. Turtle does go to the side of BTK. Sleepy taking a lot of damage in the flicker. Minoan's Fury set. Sleepy goes down. Mila looking for the next target under the tower. Wall does come out, but BTK backs off.
And all while this happening, Basic able to get a kill onto R up at the top as well. A much better start for the Bloodthirsty Kings than game 1, and definitely enforcing their will now that they have the advantage.
I'm wondering, you know, we've been talking about builds all night with a lot of different heroes. I'm wondering how Basic's going to take this, but Moy taking a lot of damage. Forced to use a wild charge just to get away. MLBB not going to let up just yet. Cold World there. Up against Oh My Foe. They're going to decide not to try to steal the orange buff, but at least take this camp.
Yeah, and even and right now doing a great job of bullying Momoy, even if they're not able to get the kill on them. Oh, R in trouble.
On's Force does come down. Nicolette does miss the skill, though, so R's able to get away.
Yeah, and I was about to say, like, even if they're not able to get the kill onto Momoy, they're doing such a great job of pressuring Momoy. So it's basically like the Night Horde doesn't even have a roam for how often he has to go back to base during this game.
This is true. I mean, it's definitely not a death, but still having to consistently go back slows down the team rotations, makes it so more of your teammates, you know, are out there alone. Basic does take a meteor to face there, forced to back off, but the Minoan's Fury comes out. Basic looking for one more hit. R goes down. Cold World gets that kill in his pocket instead. Oh My Foe, a little bit late to the party, and Nicolette's here to show up.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for the Night Horde. I want to say a little bit of a misread there from R. Did not know that Cold World was in the bush, just waiting for that Minoan Fury. And we were talking about this, the great setting potential, not just for Nicolette, but helping out for Basic to get the damage he needs onto the gold lane as well.
I mean, it's already looking good for the side of BTK. 2,200 gold lead. Basic with a strong lead in the gold lane, which is huge because, like, don't get me wrong, the Roger does well, but when it's 2 deaths down in the early phase, it's going to start to have a problem. It's definitely not going to be able to make those big engages. It's not going to be able to chase people down. You're immediately put at risk because, and the rest of your team is going to have trouble bringing BTK down on health to where the Roger can really capitalize on it.
And we're already to a point where the Night Horde is not able to capitalize on a lot of these objectives. They're not able to get into position. They're still on their back foot. They can't even punish BTK by trying to take on a side lane or try to push or get a gank onto one of those right now.
I would say, though, that BTK is taking a slightly slower pace than what Night Horde did last game. which could be rough. Sayori will start really starting to hit, and BTK doesn't really have an exact way to get to her other than the diversion, but even that, if you don't have vision on Sayori, you don't know where to put the diversion. So if Sayori can kind of play it safe here, there are some answers there. Momoy also hasn't taken any deaths, has some big set potential. We definitely can't count Night Horde out completely, but if they keep making plays onto R here, it's going to become a problem.
You see, yeah, there's so much pressure onto this gold lane right now. Momoy's basically going to have to stick here right now as R is having a lot of trouble. Cold World and Nicolette especially has been zooming from mid lane to the top lane very quickly as we see a little bit of engagement here in enemy territory.
Ooh, look at the shred from Yellow already onto Oh My Foe. Purple buff is taken. Mobazane able to pick it up. Sleepy just trying to defend. Basic though, getting a little bit of damage. R catches the face of it. Momoy gets popped up. More damage. Nicolette able to find the kill. Sayori now firing off some shots, but still unable to help out the team. Diversion play up to the top, waiting for R. R cannot catch a break right now, man. He's like, let me just run up the top lane. Now I'm caught in between three members. We're going to try to pin. The taunt comes in, and Cold World helps Mobazane get the kill. Praise's Wrath comes down onto Oh My Foe, and Basic should be able to take this tower.
That's just what we were talking about with Nicolette on this Lu Yi, is just that smooth transition from mid. Already knew that R was trying to get back to top lane because he didn't want any of the fight at mid. They already closed ranks around him. Don't even let him get there. Nicolette here getting another kill onto Sleepy.
3-1-1. Let's not forget to mention, Milo literally brought down almost all of Sleepy's health bar with that one skill. Just one set of yo-yos able to shred down. Sayori now going to go down. Basic drops some non-force, dives under the tower and picks up the kill. Night Horde up against the ropes right now. Mobazane dives in, hits the taunt. Looking for the Appraisal's Wrath here. Doesn't have it ready to go, so can't get the kill, but the tower will fall as everyone's been zoned away. Couple more shots, and not only that, but now Milo's up in the top side, clearing even more.
This is just as I was talking about Night Horde last game. This game, BTK is not messing around. They're trying to say that first game was a fluke. Let us show you how. And they are dominating right now. 8-1 right now. A 7K gold lead at the 7-minute mark. That's a 1K a minute for Bloodthirsty Kings. And they are continuing on this push and continuing on this pressure to the side lanes as well.
And they get another turtle here, puts them at 7,600. Basic already closing distance onto that tier 2, and the rest of the team is there to kind of cut lane, make sure that Night Horde can do nothing about it.
Yeah, and right now, and you can see here, like they're not even able to answer some of these tower pushes. They're definitely not able to answer for a objective. Another ultimate there, a diversion coming out from Nicolette. Looking for an opportunity. But I want to say the one thing that Night Horde has done very well is they're not getting caught by these diversions. They're being very safe with their rotations. They're making sure they're together, and they're not entering things that they don't have vision on.
Yeah, they're definitely playing it safe, and I think they know what they're up against here, right? Sayori's doing a great job at checking the bushes. We just saw her throw a meteor into that one and figure out where they are. So they're playing it correctly, but how long can that last for, right? When does the kettle eventually pop here, right? Like when does the bubble eventually pop? Night Horde definitely defending, but the gold lead is escaping, and they're not even able to get out of base to kind of clear lanes.
And you see Sleepy here in a good position for the flank, but I'm not sure who his target is. Possibly Nicolette. He gets found out.
I mean, I think it's just vision at this point, just trying to open things up as BTK just closes in on the chokehold right now. More waves coming on. They're not even trying to freeze lanes. They are just keeping on the pressure.
Yeah, yeah, they're just going to keep on. They're not trying to freeze lanes right now because it's so early that all they need to do is continually choke out and starve out the Night Horde. They're taking their entire jungle from them. All they can claim are these minions for right now.
Mobazane's 1-0-2, which doesn't seem like a lot, but being able to just farm for free the way he has, nobody's able to do any massive damage to him. A straight meteor shot full stacks still barely chips away on him. Basic as well, 2-0-3. He drops his Amon's Force and he's just clearing house.
Yeah, and all this now while the Lord is being attacked by Bloodthirsty Kings, and there is unfortunately nothing that the Night Horde can do about it. Minions starting to pour in around them, and we're going to be looking for BTK to go ahead and, I want to say, line up these lanes for this next Lord push.
The thing is, like, in a moment like this, normally a team would kind of come out of their base a little bit, you know, try to gain some map control, try to get a jungle camp, but there is just the constant fear of the diversion, right? There's just like the constant worry of like, are they in this bush? Like, you have no clue where they are at any time, and that in itself kind of helps control the map.
Yeah, and to the point where they're just not able to make anything happen before this Lord comes. They're basically waiting for a mistake as Basic gets killed.
Yeah, Basic able to find one as MLBB and Cold World enter in onto the tier 2 in the mid. I mean, the inhibitor in the mid. Lord is down. But BTK is not out just yet. Melo able to get some nice shred onto Oh My Foe. Waiting for the next wave to crash in as MLBB just hangs out behind the wall in enemy territory. Are going to try to close the distance. Does luck on a Basic. Spawns Force drops, and he immediately is taken out. A big Minoan's Fury on a 3-member. Sleepy forced away. They did it in 14 minutes. BTK trying to break the record. MLBB takes out Sleepy. Oh My Foe, Momoy forced to go back to the fountain and get a little bit of health. They move on to the top inhibitor. Another wave crashing down on the bottom as BTK wants to finish things here. Smon's Force drops. Cold World helps out. Basic locks onto the base. Nicolette collects Oh My Foe. Momoy will be the next to fall, and the base will go last. BTK takes game number 2 and takes us to a game 3.
And what a reply from Bloodthirsty Kings for that first game, coming back in such a dominating fashion.